Good Saturday morning to you all. Hopefully you guys are doing great. We got another Watchmen update. We got some big holes appearing at Whole Foods. I know, what you'd expect, right? But we do have meat and chicken disappearing there. We also have a tariff war, free trade, freedom of speech, all of that at stake as the European Union decides to try to shake down Elon Musk over Twitter, essentially. We got a skyscraper on fire after being hit by an explosive aircraft. And Brics finally launching their unit currency. We've been warning about this for quite some time. I'm not sure what took them so long to get their act together, but it involves gold. It involves Brics currencies. It's boring, but it's a huge deal and will impact all dollar users around the world for sure. Germany getting ready to reinstate the draft. That's not scary or anything. And birthright citizenship case is going to be heard by the Supreme Court. So they're going to come out with a ruling on that. And energy emergency declared in Wisconsin. Plus, we need to talk about iceberg lettuce, that and a whole lot more. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and this is the most straight to the point daily news update on YouTube that you will find. Thanks so much for being part of the Watchmen community. If you have something to share, make sure you use the word update somewhere in your comment. That does get it to the right place. We do want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. They help people with retirement accounts to get out of stocks and bonds and into something safer. If you're worried about the stock market crashing in the near future and your retirement is basically all that, well, a safe haven is physical precious metals. If you want to find out more about that, check out the pinned comment down below. If you do reach out to them directly, make sure you mention this channel so they waive your setup fee, or you'll find a link at the end of the video. All right, we have big news out of Sri Lanka. They've issued fresh landslide warnings after the toll there has already reached 607 people having perished just in the last couple of days due to landslides, heavy rainfall there. Southern India also being hit by that, and parts of Thailand and Malaysia. A lot of these places being hammered with this rain. Very heavy rain. Lots of flooding, lots of people not surviving it, and homes devastated. Aid is already being mobilized by many organizations around the world. All right, the European Union has decided to go after Elon Musk. Now, you hear a little bit about Elon Musk on this channel, and part of the reason is the fact that he is the richest man in the world. I say that, and some people get surprised by that, but yeah, he's not just some cool guy. He is, at least on paper, the most rich person in the world. He's so that's one reason that kind of makes him newsworthy. And then the second thing is, he seems to be out there trying to fight for free speech. Seems to be out there trying to get people to Mars, which means the space arena is kind of interesting. And then also he is pushing electric vehicles, autonomous vehicles, and flying vehicles now. So he's kind of on the cutting edge. He's kind of the modern day Howard Hughes, and like him or hate him, he's certainly pretty newsworthy. But anyway, the European Union is going after him for 120 million euros. That's $140 million for us Americans as a fine for breaking its digital rules. Oh, okay. What did he do wrong? Well, apparently they don't like how the check mark implies to some people that the account is verified, when in fact some people can just pay for it. But of course, they're failing to realize that if you pay for it, that kind of verifies who you are because it traces it back to a credit card or something. So anyway, they're upset. Are they really upset about the check mark, or is it something else? Well, here's the words of Elon Musk. The European Commission offered X, or Twitter, an illegal secret deal. If we quietly censored speech without telling anyone, they would not fine us. The other platforms accepted that deal, like Google and Microsoft and some of these others. The EU imposed this crazy fine, not just on X, but also on me personally, which is even more insane. Yeah, you can't impose it on the CEO. Like, what is that? Therefore, it would seem appropriate to apply our response, the United States' response, not just to the European Union, but also to the individuals who took this action against me. The EU, this is someone else talking, the EU imposes impossible rules so it can punish tech firms that refuse to silently censor free speech. We saw the same thing happen in France. A baseless criminal investigation, then intelligence services offering to help with it if Telegram quietly censored speech in Romania and Moldova. They want not only to censor speech, but they want to do it quietly, and they don't like these platforms saying, hey, we're being forced to do this. And you can just imagine how much of this has been going on, not only overseas, but also inside the United States on YouTube and others. Remember how the White House was coordinating with these social media platforms to deplatform people who had the wrong opinions about the pokey? Remember that? And the lockdowns? Yeah, I remember that. A lot of us remember that. And we're not going to forget it. European Union is like, it's like that little yappy dog that some people have. And the dog, like, yap, 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 yap. It thinks it's real tough and everything like that, but then it hides behind its owner. Well, European Union needs to stop biting its owner, the United States, or else the United States is going to either send the fluff ball flying or is going to let something eat the fluff ball, which is Europe. They are not ingratiating themselves at all, and they don't realize how dependent they are on the United States. All right, a explosive drone hit a skyscraper in Russia's Chechnya, setting the building on fire. And at first it sounds like, oh, okay, they're shooting at each other. It is what it is. Remember that we overthrew 2 countries because somebody flew a flying thing into 2 of our buildings. Okay? They flew a jetliner into a few of our buildings and we freaked out. Now we have our ally out there flying these things into residential skyscrapers and civilian skyscrapers, and suddenly it's okay. Terrorism apparently is okay when we do it and when our allies do it. But I just want you to just kind of keep that in perspective, the war crimes that are happening out there right and left. I'm not saying Russia's innocent in this. Russia's done stuff too. But it seems pretty evident that Russia is taking pains not to commit war crimes, whereas Ukraine seems to be all out trying to. Anyway, moving on to the Brics group. This is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, but they've added a whole bunch of new countries. They have finally launched their gold-backed unit payment system, UNIT. Unit. It's so boring sounding. Anyway, they're going to start paying. They're going to trade between 30 plus countries using the unit payment system. It's backed by, the currency that they're issuing is backed by 40% gold and 60% a basket of Brics currencies. So no silver in this. That was speculated that they're going to do that. No oil or other commodities, which was also being speculated. Apparently it's just going to be 40% gold, 60% a basket of Brics currencies. So they actually need to have the paper bills sitting in a vault somewhere in order to issue a unit. This is a big deal. It's definitely going to give another life to gold as it goes upwards. The US dollar's days as a global reserve currency are numbered. And Germany introduces mandatory screenings for all of its 18-year-old men in a step towards mandatory conscription. So they're not going there quite yet, but mandatory screenings for all 18-year-old men as its military is massively understaffed. It's supposed to be this size, the German military, and it's really this size. About 50% capacity. They are missing 1 out of every 2 soldiers that they're supposed to have. It's kind of a pretty big miss when it comes to recruitment. Nobody in Germany wants to serve in the military. So they're increasing the pay, and they're getting ready to institute conscription. That's the draft for you guys, right? Anyway, Supreme Court has agreed to rule on whether President Trump can end birthright citizenship. Now, at heart of this case is the 14th Amendment, which states all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States. Now, traditionally, this has been interpreted as if you're born in the United States, then you're a U.S. citizen. But President Trump and his administration are honing in on this and subject to the jurisdiction thereof. And they're arguing that those who are not legally inside the United States, at which time their parents are not legally inside the United States, at which time they were born, that they are not, in fact, citizens of the United States. This is huge. If they do this, they could potentially strip citizenship from millions of people. We're talking millions of people. 40 million people are living inside the United States. They were born elsewhere. Now, a bunch of them are legally residing inside the United States with visas and all that kind of stuff, but a large number of them aren't. And of those people, they're having lots and lots of babies, and those babies are becoming citizens. So if they get moved from citizenship status to non-citizenship status, that's going to change a lot of numbers out there, and it's going to change voting blocks of whole blue states, because there's a lot of blue states where the schools are packed with people who are U.S. citizens only by birth, not by parentage, right? Also, over at the U.S. Navy, they announced yesterday that they have selected the LST-100, produced by the Dutch shipbuilding company Damian Group, to be the basis of the new class of medium landing ships. Now, these are like a special helicopter and hovercraft capable ship. It's a much smaller ship. Also can be used as a drone platform. Now, it's going to be 35 vessels be purchased as part of this, and they'll be essential for future island hopping operations against peer adversaries, so an equivalent adversary like China, in the Indo-Pacific region. So we need to hop from island to island, and we need to deploy troops, we need to deploy aircraft and deploy helicopters all over the area, and drones, and that's what they seem to be moving towards. Small ships, lots of small ships, as opposed to big hunking targets. Construction of the Navy's first LST-100 is expected to begin in 2026, with the delivery of that ship in 2029. All right, Northern Nancy says energy emergency declared in Wisconsin. Tony Evers declared the emergency concerning propane gas and heating oil. This was issued about 4 hours ago, which is last night, 8 p.m. We heat with natural gas, but who knows how long that will be available. Inside the United States, natural gas is generally available unless you live in the northeast of the United States, the New England area. They don't actually have any pipelines because they don't allow any pipelines to be built. So all of that has to be basically moved by ship. So they can't get natural gas up to the northeast very easily. What's in storage is what's in storage for the winter. The rest of the United States, natural gas is fairly plentiful, and except when you have freeze-offs, which is like down south when the pipes freeze and the natural gas stops flowing directly to generators and stuff. All right, Thomas says a top-grade TV antenna will cost you about $220, and you can get it installed for $400. No monthly anything then. No subscriptions, everything like that. We're talking about how everyone's moved from having the DVDs, which you own, of movies and TV shows, to basically hoping that you can afford Netflix or these other streaming platforms. And I advise, keep the DVDs. Anyway, that's my thought on that. But TV is another way of going about it, especially if you're near a city. But again, whatever's on TV, you're kind of under their thing. Anyway, they also say I'm in a Philly suburb and I can pick up 75 channels. And if you pick up a tuner box separately, about $30, you can attach a hard drive, $70, and tape all of the shows and movies. Necessity is the mother of reinvention, and nobody knows what you're watching, so there's that too. KC says, what's going on with iceberg lettuce? I cut into a brand new head, and the inside was brown, slimy, and rotten. The outside looked perfectly fresh. I'm in north central West Virginia. I shop at Food Lion. I spoke with the evening produce manager who told me they weren't allowed to cut open the heads when they arrive. Does that sound ridiculous, or am I off base in expecting the store to check these items? Yeah, I mean, they should be checking the freshness of their produce, right? Or at the very least, when somebody complains about it, they should be willing to check what's on the shelf. Content says, in Fruitport, Michigan, at the Dollar General store, I bought a gallon of whole milk. No taste at all. Watered down and even had pieces of slime in it. I ended up dumping it, expired December 12th. In case of sickness, instant coffee has also changed. They dumped it because of sickness. Instant coffee has also changed to no flavor. Bitter, yuck. We know what's going on. It's being manipulated. Well, I mean, with coffee has gone through the roof price-wise, so they're incentivized to put some other filler stuff in there that you may not notice. Just kind of, put some other stuff in there to use less coffee beans. With milk, we've been having issues with milk, but coffee prices are definitely up, and expect consistencies of things that are not brand name products to possibly change. And they're definitely switching over to away from Arabica beans to Robusta beans, right? Deb says, something maybe to look for when you are buying bacon. Normally I buy from the store brand 1 pound bacon. This happens to be Brookshire's grocery chain in Texas, but I bet they aren't the only one. This week I went to pick up a package, and I could immediately see that it was smaller. Most of the other brands come in 12-ounce packages, and I thought maybe the store brand had also switched to 12 ounces, but it stated 16 ounces. I took the package over to the produce scales, and sure enough, it was 12 ounces. An employee offered to weigh it on their more accurate digital scale, and it stated that it was 0.9 pounds, which is still off. But remember, that also includes the weight of the packaging. You're not getting a pound of meat as stated. Fidget says, I went to Dollar General in Ohio and grabbed a box of their brand of cornstarch, Clover Valley brand, because I remembered I was out and the label said made in Pakistan. I didn't purchase it. Found a US-made non-GMO brand online. Also, many brands of pickles now are coming from India. Pickles. Aldi and Sam's are two that do come from India, apparently. It's getting harder to find food items that are made in the United States. Simple products we should be making here in the US. Jean says, definitely Dollar Tree is not getting certain items in stock anymore. Next Friday, I will check another location in southern Middle Tennessee and see if they have any. One item already ordered on eBay. I bought a lot of it 2 years ago. Now all you see on the shelf is bottles of this skin lotion that are half the size. Stocking up right now makes a whole lot of sense. PJ says, was at my local Whole Foods yesterday, inside the 610 loop in Houston, Texas, and there were massive holes in the meat section and in the frozen seafood section. I don't know if it was a delivery issue or a supply issue. I've never seen such gaps in the store before. Have you guys seen any gaps in the chicken and the meat sections and seafood? Let me know if you're seeing that out there. Make sure you use the word update. If you want to get some more information from Genesis Gold, or you want to reach out and check their website, or give them a call without actually giving them all your information, you can check that out in the pinned comment down below. Make sure you mention this channel if you decide to move forward. That way you save money on the setup fee. If you want to click on the link right there, that also does the same thing. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up here. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you guys later. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report out.